Hey everybody. So this video is going to be talking about the behavior of the whole muscle. And there are a few terms we have to learn. And the first one is that muscle contractions, the muscle contraction of the fiber of the cell, is not the whole muscle. It is the individual cells within the muscle. All right. So if there is a contraction occurring, they are individual fibers, cells, contracting within the muscle. So you can contract a couple, you can contract all of them. There's a variety. That said, whenever a contraction occurs, notice how slowly I'm saying this because it's so important. Whenever a contraction occurs of a muscle fiber, it is an all or nothing response, which means if a muscle fiber is contracting, that full muscle fiber will contract completely. You're not going to get partial contraction. You're not going to get 3/4 of a contraction. You're not going to get a half contraction. You're going to get full contraction of that muscle. All right. That said, that doesn't make any sense. If that was the case, wouldn't all of my muscles just like crush everything, right? For example, my hand. If I wanted to pick up this mouse, wouldn't that mean that I'm just going to crush it because I'm using all of my muscle force? No, because the strength of a contraction of a whole muscle is graded, meaning that as more motor units join in, you're going to have a stronger contraction. So think back, number one, think back to a motor unit. What does that mean? A motor unit is the one neuron and all of the muscle fibers that it connects to. So if you're talking about small muscles, like in your eyes, that was one we used, one neuron may combine with 20 or so muscle fibers. If you're talking about something big, like your thighs, not your eyes, your thighs, like in your leg, one neuron may connect to 500 muscle fibers at one time to make one response. Here's an image of what I'm trying to talk about. So let's say these are 5 muscle fibers in your hand, right? I'm picking up an egg, right? If I'm going to pick up this egg and I want to pick it up lightly and I don't want to break it, right? What I'm going to have to do is activate some muscles in order to close my hand. But maybe I'll only pick up maybe one muscle fiber. If I activate one muscle fiber, I'm going to activate that muscle fiber completely, right? So if I use this one muscle, it is going to contract this one muscle fiber 100%. This muscle fiber is going to be 100% contracted, right? So now I could pick it up with 2 fingers and not break it. Now, if I want to add additional force and crush that egg because I'm feeling it, I need to recruit additional muscles, right? So then I may have a second one and a third one and a fourth one, right? And that'll generate more power, right? More force in my muscle, or a stronger contraction. So that's something really important to keep in mind. And again, how many muscle fibers are being connected at once? How many are activating at once? It all depends on the motor unit. One neuron, in this case, this is my little imaginary example. One motor neuron down here is only connecting to one muscle fiber in my case. Maybe this one over here is number 1. Maybe number 2 is connecting to 3 muscles at one time. It all depends. But the bottom line is this. The more muscle fibers that are being recruited, the more of a contraction you're going to get. That's called a graded response. But if you activate even 1 or 5 or 1,000 muscles, whenever they are activated, that muscle fiber will fully contract. So it's not the full muscle, it's the fiber. If you want to get the full muscle, you have to activate more fibers. If you have any questions on this, please let me know.